All right. Today is the last day of March. God damn. The end of the first quarter, March 31st, 2022. You tuned into the world famous Beer and Conversation show. Thank you for the studio audience today. All right, calm down, guys. Calm down. So, any rate, long day today. I mean, extremely long day, man. I don't feel like I got to really see you a whole lot today, and I kind of missed you today. Hoos.
Well, I appreciate the brotherly love, brother.
I was like, well, damn, man. I mean, I had a lot going on. So.
Yeah. Well, we all have our own business to attend to, and we work better as a team. But the team can't work well if the individuals ain't working well themselves. So.
Yeah, good point. You need all the fingers to work on the hand.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Ironically, it is ironically, when I say that, it's 5 of us, right? So when we start talking about fingers on the hand. But I had to do. Whoa! There go the boss right there.
Mm-hmm.
We had to.
Come on in.
Yeah. I had to meet with 2 doctors today and 2 sets of attorneys.
Well, sounds pretty eventful, man.
What an eventful day. I haven't really had time to slow down, really enjoy a meal today, so I'm hoping after we can get something to eat. I got so much stuff to tell you. Music Monk is in the house. It's always good to have you here, my brother. What's up, baby? Yeah.
My man.
Yeah, so nonetheless, anyway, good news from the doctor today. I got the surgeon who did my hernia surgery said, man, I was in post-op care. He's like, man, we'll see you in 6 months. So they set me out for September 20th, and whenever they say 6 months, you're in a very good place. So I'm happy about that. A lot of things we're gonna get into today. 40s and 9s. What was that? Don't be a man South Central drinking your juice in the hood. Me and my brother was having a discussion about what's the best Wayans movies. And then, we got to arguing because somebody said, I'm going to get you sucker. I said, don't be a man South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. I mean, that scene with the dad, man, was crazy. When he went to go meet his dad and his dad
was younger than him.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, nonetheless, we're going to get into this whole Chris Rock, Will Smith, was he right, was he wrong type of deal. Number here is 470-251-4707. JoJo, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, 470-251-4707. Before I get started, best Wayans movie.
I'm still thinking about it. I like I mean, it's kind of hard to say, but I would have to go with Don't Be a Menace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's something about that movie that is
it seemed like it just covered everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's classically irreverent.
And now the man is here.
Yeah.
Oh no, we've got another seat for you, brother. Yes, it is. I would say Don't Be a Menace. Before we get into the wheel and
well, what does that say about the rest of their anthology though? Like, because Don't Be a Menace came out in 95, 96, maybe 97. So there's been 25 years since then. Like, we can't think of another equally as good.
Scary movies.
Well, yeah. Scary movies.
Scary movies. Can you really identify with any of them?
I personally can.
I mean, all they do is spoofs. The Wayans, all they do is spoofs.
And to be more specific, 1 through 3. I think after 3 they got a little outrageous, and then you got the original parody, which is I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, which that had had the famous running back in it. I forget the gentleman's name.
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
Yeah, Jim Brown in it, and it was a spoof of black exploitation films.
Chris Rock was in it.
Was Original Gangsters out by then?
Chris Rock. We're gonna get to that in a second.
Well, he was in it though.
Was Original Gangsters out by then? Because it seemed like it was a spoof on Original Gangsters.
No.
I'm talking about the movie with
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with Jim Brown
Braxton and all that.
No. The movie with Jim Brown where they all came back one more time to take, yeah.
I've only seen Jim Brown.
But it had Braxton from the Jamie Foxx show in it.
I know what movie you're talking about, but it might be. You know what? I don't know.
It had Jim Brown, Isaac Hayes, obviously the other Wayans brothers.
That shit was funny as hell when he slipped on that bullet.
That's an all-star lineup.
When he slipped on that bullet. That shit was, and then the Karate Man had the car, you know what I'm saying, and talking. I mean, it really, like, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker really is a classic movie though.
But
let's
just real quick, to me, in totality, which some could argue, it kind of competed with Saturday Night Live, and Living Color was great, man. Living Color. They gave Jim Carrey a chance, yeah,
It launched a lot of careers, you know what I mean, and it was one of those shows that got Fox where it is today.
Okay, I get it. You're right about that. Now I can see that Rashid is not too enthused about this, so I'm gonna move on.
He got in.
Well, you know, I got a small beef to pick with y'all. I'll wait till after the show because I'm gonna be hungry. But man, we debuted the patio on barbecue and I didn't see y'all, man. And I know I had said something about it, and I guess maybe y'all forgot because y'all was out. Well, you were probably out macking or something like that, and then. Well, I guess I gotta.
Did I get like an Evite or did I get?
You see what I'm saying? Like,
what the hell was she? When have I ever done anything like that?
Bro, that's the thing. Like, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as your brother, like I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you my dude. You gotta just pick up the phone, send a group text.
Shoot a text,
you know what I'm saying? Send the address, be here or be square. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm write down dates and times when I'm out here.
Well,
you want to come in now? Hold on, this guy want to come in on Thursday. Now, when was the shit? Now,
Sunday.
Exactly.
Sunday.
Exactly. You do the math. So if it was that big of a deal, you would either call Sunday when you noticed that our presence was not in the atmosphere.
It wasn't. We were running
Monday.
We were running around. He was going to the grocery store. I had to go to Home Depot and get.
So what you saying is you ain't think about it until the day when we showed up.
I did. You know, and like, you know what? Because I had some female friends, platonic female friends. They were like, there's gonna be some guys over here.
You ain't shit. I just want to let you know, hey man, where my bell at, man?
We're gonna do it again. One of them said, he's like, there's gonna be some guys over here. I was like,
bruh.
I was like, well, I don't do the men. That's not my thing here. That ain't my.
Damn it! I mean,
but y'all could have came to my house. Cause I don't want men coming to my house. But I would have did it for y'all. I promise I would have. But we will do it again.
You done said a whole lot of nothing. Let's
get to the damn nitty.
It's Thursday. You gonna tell me about some? They was asking on Sunday, but you gonna tell me they were asking on Thursday? Thursday night at that. Let's
go.
What the bell? Go. Ring the bell. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect timing.
All right, so I was gonna, for the first time ever, in since we started this beer in a conversation movement, I was gonna recluse myself from this show because I have, and I will still abstain from really exerting the personal energy that I have about this whole thing that happened at the Oscars or whatever, right? First and foremost, it was the Oscars, wasn't it? Okay, all right. First and foremost, I would like to say this. I'd like to preface this and say that those are actors, and the Oscars have been losing ratings. So let's just pretend, if we're going to have this discussion, that all of this was actually real. It looked real. It sounded real. Will Smith's
I don't really have
Will.
to
No pun intended. I keep saying Will. Will Smith's voice, the cadence in his voice, it sounded very real. You know what I mean? It sounded like he was very, very sincere. And so I started, like, I didn't know about it because I don't watch none of this stuff, man. You know, I'm out, like, trying to get stuff done, but I do go up and down on social media, and I was like, man, it was a lot of people that was just, I mean, like, it was the BuzzFeed of the year thus far. For sure. So, I'm not mad about it. No way, shape, form, or fashion. The number is 470-251-4707 if you got to call and have an opinion. But, so, I kept looking. All I saw was, like, judgmental stuff. Oh, he shouldn't have do it. He shouldn't do it. He shouldn't have did it. He should have did it. That was the right thing to do. You know, and I being in a situation in my life, being married, one thing I learned is, first and foremost, you can never say what you will or won't do. Matters of the heart are things that trigger individuals. There's some truth to all is fair in love and war, first and foremost, right? I've seen all types of examples where men have struck the stepson because the stepson was disrespectful to the wife. I've been in a position when I was at the height of the love in my marriage where, for that short tenure, where I didn't want men talking, not only talking about, but talking to. I was pissed if they breathed on her. You know what I mean? Like, don't get away. I would have did way worse than smack you. Smacking is kind of, I don't know. Shoot, I mean, that's tempting a man, actually. Here's my point in saying that. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm saying that if Will hadn't have done anything, people would have said, oh man, he let somebody disrespect his wife in front of him. If he does do something, he was right, but he didn't do it the right way. There's a right way of doing it. And everybody knows the right way of doing it. NFL, 32 quarterbacks every week. Sometimes a quarterback gets injured, they put another quarterback in there. Hard job to play in the NFL. Probably the hardest job in terms of a player's job is to play quarterback. Not just because of what it takes mechanically, QB, IQ, field vision, all that, but the scrutiny that you come under when a team wins and when a team loses. Easiest role to play in the NFL is Monday morning quarterback. Everybody talks about what they would or would not do. And you know what I tell people? You don't know what the fuck you would do until you're in that situation. And so I'm just going to say that. I know I'm going to let y'all do y'all thing. I wanted to recluse myself from it, but I don't know. I mean, let me say that because I really want to.
You want to recuse yourself?
Yeah, I wanted to. For the first time ever, I wanted to. Let me say this. How do we know?
So that failed. Okay.
How do we know? I'm not going to give an opinion. I'm just saying that.
You're not?
I've given an opinion. I've given an opinion of people who have an opinion. If the only way I could really give an accurate opinion is if we could talk to Will Smith and say, man, what happened? What was you thinking? Because for all we know,
why do you have your time out? I gotta stop you. Why you got your own show?
This is a sensitive subject for me.
Why?
Well, I'm just saying.
Because clearly you are in agreement. All of your energy says you would have done what Will did and possibly worse.
Not saying that. Well, I'm saying.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying I've been emotionally moved. And I'm saying that you can't say what you would do or not do. How do we know that when Jada and August Alsina were having, well, I think that it was sleeping together, but she calls it an entanglement.
That's exactly what the fuck they were doing.
She called it an entanglement. You know, we are in a different era nowadays. You know, and so But I agree. I know what that was. But what I'm saying is, how do we know that when Will said, well, why did you do it? How do we know that she didn't say, he makes me feel safe. He makes me feel protected. How do we know that in the drive down there, or before they got dressed to go down there, because Will Smith was getting an award, or potentially getting an award for the role he played in the movie, how do we know that she didn't say, Will, I don't feel comfortable, I'm losing my hair. No, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Nothing's going to happen. I got you. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry. And then what happens? The worst possible thing that can happen happens. She gets targeted. What I'm saying is that I'm not saying that any of these things happen.
But it wasn't.
I'm not saying that they.
What are you talking about?
I'm not saying that
everyone got made fun of that night.
That's what
That's
what I'm like.
Jada was not.
I agree.
She wasn't the only one that got called out.
We're talking about how do we know what was acting.
Gay. They're probably gay.
Why does it?
I didn't watch the whole telecast, but somebody probably got made fun of for being gay, trans, whatever.
And comedians are the only people.
I guarantee nobody got made fun on that.
No, they didn't.
I didn't watch it,
but people's appearances were but that is on par for all award shows, which is why they typically hire comedians and animated personalities to liven the club. You know what I'm saying? To liven the crowd up. But to address some of the things that you're saying,
how do we? What I'm saying is that I don't think any of that's right.
I got you.
I'm saying that how do we know? Where are we at to say what he should or should not?
But why should we give a fuck?
Right.
I agree. Okay, yeah.
Why should we care about the nuances of someone's marriage when they're on their way down there, about alopecia and the possibility? If that's the case, why are you sitting up front? It's so there's a response to all of this shit. At the end of the day, it's all entertainment. So if we're going to digest this and unpack this from a standpoint of it being entertainment and its implications on a culture who views this entertainment stars as larger than life, as a part of their own family, then we need to start from that standpoint in terms of the who was wrong, who was right, the larger implications. But to say that you don't know what you would do in that situation when someone says something, but you should know what you're going to do in a situation when you know that you're on fucking TV.
How though?
Because you're on.
Matter. I'm just
saying. When you got court, do you know how you gonna behave when you get to court? Just answer the fucking question.
Yes, I know.
Why? Because you understand the environment that you're going into. So you, as a grown adult, as a
black man, let's
because race has nothing to do with it at this point. This is just
I know they want to throw my ass in jail.
This is just being an adult. This is just understanding the environment that you're going into. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a level of decorum. There's a standard. That's all I'm saying. Like, you should know that at 3 years old, that you don't get up in the middle of you know what I'm saying, of an event and slap a moderator, not a moderator, but a presenter, right, and then shout obscenities and disrupt the entire fucking program. You cost millions of dollars when you do that.
Well, maybe they made millions of dollars.
And that's the point. This was it was up there almost 60% from ratings from last year, but it was still the second lowest rated Oscars of all time. But it was a step in the right direction from people who were the same people who were fucking complaining
that black people, exactly.
And nigga, you get up there and you gonna slap a black man. You know what I'm saying?
An altercation.
So when you say you don't know what you wouldn't do in that situation, I know I wouldn't get up there and slap another black man over something that is just general roasting and ribbing that comes with the territory.
Okay, I can get you on the actual physical part in the middle of the show.
You don't say anything.
I don't know about the saying.
No, you leave your seat. You leave your seat at commercial break. You go behind the scenes. You ask to speak to Mr. Chris Rock, and you say, "Hey man, hey man, I know you didn't know this, but Jada's going through this alopecia thing. You go to him as a brother. You don't be doing stop with all this fucking fake ass sage talking. Everybody want to be woke, but when you have the opportunity to display your growth and your ascension and your understanding of what life is about, you get up there and you embarrass everybody. You embarrass yourself. You embarrass your family.
Well, and then just real quick, truth.
So I got a question text in. So he never acted off of impulse?
Well, just real quick. Truth be told, I don't even watch the Oscars. I know that's big for actors, and it's an award show, and it's one of the highest accolades they can receive for their work. But to be quite frank, just as a consumer of pop culture, dude, I don't even, like, just in my mind at 26 years old, that's all I ever remember that show for. Like, I don't know who won Best Costume Designer. I don't know who won Best Like, it's just, well, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. That's, like, all I know about the show. It kind of casted a dark shadow over, the accomplishment of the other people that were involved. And, obviously the Williams family. I guess, I think he was representing their dad, right, for Best Actor. So, and then when you look at Chris Rock, it's like, dang, like, dude, there's like a mark. It's just weird. It's honestly weird as a consumer. You just see it. It's like, well, now Will Smith, obviously, we love him for his acting. We love Chris Rock for his acting. But now every time you see them probably on the screen, there might potentially be a trigger of, hey, that's that nigga. Excuse my language, but that's that nigga that got bitched on national television.
Nobody's.
I'm not nobody looks at there are some people that might say,
not.
well, I would have. Shannon Sharp already came out and said, I would have hit his ass back and all this. That.
But
I believe Shannon Sharp would have hit his ass.
But Shannon Sharp is a Hall of Fame football player who has the physical prowess and who grew up in South Georgia. Everyone hates Chris was about him being bullied growing up. He has he's talked about how he's been in therapy for being bullied. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of trauma for him in that situation. So I would understand him maintaining his level of professionalism. And then outside of that, the nigga played Ali. And he trained as a boxer for 10 years after Ali. I'm not getting into it with Will Smith when you accosted me. I'm playing with house money, so I'm going to stand up. He didn't bitch out. He did the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
I would never hit you, but just in the sense of there's a camera front and right here. You hit me and I've hit you. Obviously, we're not going to do that. And I don't mean any disrespect by even bringing up that scenario. Something's going to happen. Like, you're not just going to be like, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I think Chris Rock handled it, I guess, the best that he could, and I mean, it's an embarrassing for Will, man. It's a
seasoned professional who's been on the stage for thousands of hours. He's a master at it. When you're in front of millions of people and there's millions of dollars on the line and you're just presenting and something happens off script like that, the best thing to do is to not fucking react. Like, that's really the best thing to do. It's because you would leave.
But he would have been demonized for that.
Well, actually, I would rather be demonized by people who are stupid and who don't know how to think critically versus getting myself caught up in the legalese and contracts. Because everybody sign contracts when they do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're presenting and all this, you gotta sign hella paperwork. I would rather keep myself out of these folks' litigation and let them handle it, because now they have to protect me. I played it the right way. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. And our street cred.
Sure. I don't think he played it wrong, though. For the record,
I think he played it masterfully.
Somebody views him as weak, and just off the strength of that.
And those are the people who will be like, oh, everything's racist. Why are the police picking on me? But you got a combative ass spirit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to be about peace.
And then there are critical thinkers who think, man, Will Smith was way fucking out of line. He's way fucking out of line. Excuse my language. He's just out of line.
No, this is beer in a conversation. But I mean, I get it. I do. But he would have been criticized, and
it was unnecessary, man.
He would have been. He would have. I think that.
I don't think he would have been criticized if he didn't say anything.
You don't think so?
No, because they were both laughing. That's what I'm saying. The footage before that shows where Will and Jada were openly laughing at the rotation.
Jada was not laughing at all.
Jada, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. She was laughing at the other people's jokes.
I'm talking about
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. She was. That's my whole point. She was laughing when Chris Rock was making the rotation. There was a previous couple who he was making jokes about, and she was engaged in the laughter along with Will. That is my point. So at the end of the day, if she didn't like that joke and Will didn't say anything, no, it would not matter because they cut away anyway.
So who is? I mean, and I know that everybody's going to get married. Well, I believe so on this panel. Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
Oh, you talking okay?
Yeah. I think that you're going to learn that your highest priority is going to be to making sure that the person you live with is not upset with you.
I think that's stupid as fuck.
Maybe it is, but I'm telling you,
stupid as fuck.
Okay.
So
I gotta endanger myself. Go ahead.
Back in the '90s, Chris Rock had this routine about O.J. Simpson, and he was talking about how like Nicole Brown's like the guy Ron Goldman was like smashing Nicole, and how Nicole was in his mansion, and how he had to pay $25,000 a month in alimony, and had to pay $4,000 in food. And then then Goldman was like driving his Ferrari around town. So he was like, I ain't saying OJ should have killed her, but I understand. That's why I stand on this. I don't think he should have done it, but I get it. I understand. And funny thing is that OJ has a tweet on Twitter.
Yeah, let me.
Somebody say OJ's. Hey man, somebody say OJ phone.
Can I say something?
He was wrong.
I know a man that was married that he didn't even say anything wrong. Somebody else said something wrong, and that message got to the wife, and then the wife told the mother, and the mother told the wife to leave him because the man didn't say enough. Are we talking about just talk? We're talking about cackling in this. I wish that I could tell you that this is a lie. I believe that. I think that and this is where my the Rashid's influence on me is really about the show. I think if we're going to apply it to this, then we need to apply it to all other things that black people tend to be offended by. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it's like, is violence a necessary response when it comes to especially something that within context? And one thing that I will say in context of this is the fact that ain't no guarantee that he knew about this alopecia. So let's just hold on. Wait. You saying Will Smith?
Chris Rock did.
Oh, okay, sure.
The simplest explanation, right? The simplest explanation would say that too safe to assume that he did not know about.
Okay, I can roll with that.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't know about the alopecia, and he's making a joke, and you've been wearing your hair short. You're, you know what I'm saying?
Damn near your whole career.
Like your whole career.
But it's a little shorter now, but yeah.
How is he not supposed to know that this is just not something along the lines of your fashion cues? Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you discuss in your marriage is your marriage. It can't be your business, your privacy then, but then when it comes to when you want to be offended, well, you know what I'm saying? All of these other mitigators become.
Can I talk about my life a little bit? Now we talked about Evite. Last year, my birthday is coming up. Everybody knows it, right? Last year, I had a scenario where, because I don't do the RSVPs, and I'm sorry, guys. Okay, please forgive me.
You ain't got to do Evite. Just send a damn text or something.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, and
you did it before one time when we showed up.
And I had said to a good friend, he said he was going to a comedy show. I said, can you? I said it. I know that I was not trying to be disrespectful. I promise you. I said,
what did you do?
I said, hey man, will you just please respond to the RSVP and do it? He said, I'm coming. I said, I believe you, and I know how we get down, but will you please respond to it? Just to kind of keep everything kind of smooth. You know what I mean? And I was accused of belittling. Listen, man. Listen.
I'm lost. What happened?
Listen, I'm saying I'm not.
You asked you asked another friend to RSVP for something,
Yes.
and who accused you of belittling?
My spouse said that we need to do things, to you guys' point, it need to be done in a professional way. We have an event, and we don't want to say nothing negative. But what I'm saying is that I said, look, would you just, you know how when your boy call you and you like, look, man, just do it this. I know we ain't been doing it like this for years, but will you do this? And then it was
who's belittling who?
By not viewing it as a serious process, and by having that discussion. By the way, it was in front of my spouse, so I wasn't even trying to hide it. I was just like, man, will you come on, bro? Just please do this for me. You know what I mean? So that we can just keep everything smooth. It was. Look, man, all I'm saying is Chris Rock ain't got to live with Jada. And I knew that I knew that Will.
Exactly.
I knew that Will.
Fault that Will's married to a woman that don't respect him. Why is Chris Rock responsible for that?
But gents, in all fairness, can we really be fair here? Do we not think that Will was tagging ass too? Like, why are we?
Well, hold on. That doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
No,
but I do get what you're
saying.
saying.
I said Will Smith.
No, I mean,
do we not?
But what does that have to do with him slapping Chris Rock?
No, what I'm getting at. Well,
that is a good question.
No. I wasn't saying it had anything to do with him slapping Chris Rock. What I'm saying is that this whole entanglement. Well, why didn't he pull up on August and this, that, and the third?
Oh, I knew he was crazy.
Because the likelihood
this
that
weird someone's banging my wife and I'm okay with it. This whole mantra.
Oh, that's how I knew it was crazy then.
No.
Yeah.
But you're crazy if you think that Will Smith wasn't having plenty of sex while he was out over the road for years. Guys,
what you're saying is true. What you're saying is true, but it's inconsequential to the overall thing because Will Smith did not have a program and put his wife on there and talked about a fucking entanglement.
You're right.
So whatever he was doing,
to do it though.
But
he agreed to stay.
You know why? Because of the art. This is what your brother is trying to articulate. What your brother's trying to articulate is that in a marriage, the RSVP, even though your boy don't give a fuck, she does. So he did it for that for reasons and sentiments akin to that. Right
because he had to get in the car with her and go home. And he's like, you just gonna let this man say this about me in front of it?
So what's it? But also at the same time, that's also to assume that her response would have been that they both could have just had like a spousal venting session and been like, damn man, we need to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really appreciate that. It don't have to be automatically why you didn't go protect me, and that's what I'm saying. We automatically lock into these fucking narratives that people should have an automatic response, and then when they do. Now we want to have a week's worth of fucking dialogue about whether or not they did this shit the right way.
A week? But that's it. A week? You will hear about it until another big incident comes up.
Have you guys ever did anything out of character? And when I say like spur of the moment, not necessarily like premeditated.
Of course.
Out of character.
Every human being.
Maybe somebody, have y'all ever been flicked off in traffic? You as gentlemen might look at yourselves as nice gentlemen. You say, you know what? I'm a nice gentleman. Like, why the fuck did this person flick me off?
There's a difference.
Well, wait. 100 times you get flicked off in traffic. 99 times you might do nothing. But what happens that one day that there's other forces or variables acting on you? People explode under the right circumstances.
I don't feel like Will should be canceled. I feel like that shit's stupid. But I do feel like that he should be embarrassed. And because when I step out of character. And I feel shame, I feel guilt, I feel embarrassment, I feel accountability. I want to make it right because I can't sit with that type of energy floating around my aura. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Well, legally, he probably could have been charged with battery, assault, terroristic threats. I mean, the law is so broad. God damn. I mean, you know what I mean?
If I'm front row if I'm front row and I know that a comedian is going to engage with the crowd, and I'm with a woman and she's bald head. I mean, I kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's almost if I had on like a lime green suit or some shit, and I had, well, you know what I'm saying, or I had on something that was tacky. If it draws attention, they're going to feed off of what's going to draw attention, just for, you know what I'm saying, just for quick little quips and, you know what I'm saying, shits and giggles and stuff like that. It doesn't warrant.
That's the nature of a comedian.
That's what I'm saying.
The funny thing about it is that it is highly unlikely that he even wrote that joke.
Right.
I agree.
85% probability that he didn't write.
It was improvisation.
No.
They have other comedians write those. Yeah, other people write a lot of those jokes. Yeah, that's not just Chris Rock.
You didn't know that?
They do.
That's why I say it's contracts involved. Like Ricky Gervais, he was hosting the Golden Globes for the longest time, but his contract allowed him to write his own material. That's one of the reasons why he did it so long.
Well, and then after the show ends, they show credits and it says written by.
All right.
And it's like a list of like 20
Yeah, have a lot of people there.
Quick history lesson. Quick. Now I'll get back out of it again. Because
they're reading from a teleprompter.
No, I love it, man. I'm enjoying what y'all are saying. All right, so there was a point in time, right, where women were considered property. Not just slaves, but women too, right? Biblically, thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife. This, you know what I mean, or thy neighbor's ass, which means like a donkey. This had none of the 10 Commandments. Before the women's suffrage movement, the right to vote, women were seen as property, right? There's case law that says that you can't, that's been thrown out about women who brought rape charges against their husbands, and judges have said that that's impossible. Your husband can't rape you. And so even the transfer of ownership, right, that happens at the altar, that's what it's supposed to be, a transfer of ownership from the father to the groom, right? Like it's we can't say ownership. That's not the right word. We have to say a transfer of responsibility. It's a customary gesture of a transfer. Well, here's where I'm going with this.
It also goes back to what you believe in.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I'm in agreement with you guys.
Sure.
I am not the antithesis. I am the devil's advocate in saying we just don't. I'm gonna tell you something, man. If your wife gets upset with you,
well, who cares? Just because your
Will
wife,
Smith cares.
Because your wife is mad at me, and y'all come to a comedy show, and y'all sit on the front fucking row. If you hit me, bruh, I might not do some shit then, bruh, but I don't give a fuck if your wife mad at you because y'all sat in the front row and I said some shit. Sit your ass in the back, or don't fucking go to the shit that you was trying to boycott 5 years ago.
I agree.
Like I can't get down with it. You don't know. I don't know nobody's relationship. You don't know if somebody had a bad day. You don't have to be married for somebody to be triggered. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that alone is not holding weight with me. That you don't know what's going on in somebody's marriage. We all going through shit every fucking day. That don't give me the right to just hit your ass because you say some shit I don't like.
If it was all real and none of it was staged, I believe that if that happens 100 times, I believe that 99 times Will Smith doesn't do it. Well, I'm just saying we don't know what was going on with him that day.
That's on him.
Could have been drugs, could have been alcohol. I don't know. That's not an excuse.
For being in a highly publicized, accessible marriage where you put your shit out there, and then you want to come to a point one day against 160-pound Chris Rock that you've had enough.
Right.
You wouldn't have hit nobody else like you wouldn't hit Jason Momoa like that. You wouldn't have hit you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't hit anybody else like no fucking way Will Smith would have went up there and slapped anybody.
I'm not saying I wouldn't hit nobody at a war show. You know, the only time
what's the point then?
The only way I'm backing down from a man if I had an issue is if he got a gun and I ain't got one. But other than that, I'm not. But I understand what you're saying. I think I completely understand what you're saying.
Man, bruh, if it had been anybody else, man, it could have been any. He wouldn't have slapped nobody else. He saw that man as somebody who.
He looked at Chris Rock as a bitch.
But guess what? He also knows him too. And well, not that I agree. Like the size and stature thing, but he obviously knows him. So he's like, man, I know.
That's even worse.
It's a year. Look, guys.
Let's just say they know each other on the level that me and you know each other, right? We cool with each other. It's always all good. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna have a good time, and that's what I'm saying. That's okay, cool. I'm not finna slap you, bro.
Right.
I'm
not gonna put my hands on. You know what I'm saying?
But you also are not gonna. I think I agree.
Let's say you say something I don't like. I say something you don't.
Well, I agree with that. I don't think any of us would slap any of the other ones. I think that, but I also think that neither one of us. I think that none of us would say anything derogatory about the next man's wife. That's treading on.
That wasn't derogatory. That was not derogatory. It was in the context. It was in the.
I don't think it was intentionally derogatory. It wasn't intentional.
Why? Because she got alopecia. I have alopecia. That's why I don't have any fucking hair on my head.
But you just did that for the.
No, I got alopecia. That's what the fuck it is. That's what baldness is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. I got my eyebrows. Okay, I do have my eyebrows.
You might have, I do. You might just have male pattern baldness like I do.
This is what I
don't know if that's alopecia.
And just real quick, I just think that you said Will is 53, which I'm sure he is. You say he's 53 years old.
Yeah, these niggas old as fuck having temper tantrums and shit.
Straight up, bro, that shit's unacceptable, bro.
Exactly.
Like, straight up, bro.
It is.
Exactly. That shit's totally fucking unacceptable.
That shit's unacceptable. I hate it for Chris. Like, I'm not standing up for Chris. I'm not standing up for Jay.
Why not? He deserves to be stood up for. Shit. That nigga got assaulted in front of 30 million people.
Well, it's just that shit's embarrassing. Like definitely inside you is like, damn, man, I feel bad for the guy. But I don't know, dude. It's like this weird Hollywood thing. I just think.
What if it was Christina Rock? Would you feel different?
You mean how he smacked a woman?
Who's that?
Right.
No, I think he just means a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, so one of the questions I got to ask when I got talking to people about the show was, well, he wouldn't have said that about Denzel's wife or Samuel's wife. I said, but they're not. They're also not actors. They're just regular civilians. They
stay in their fucking place. Their place is behind the scenes. They ain't all in the rock bands, all in the videos, come to death row, red table talk. Right. They ain't doing all of that shit. They understand that their husbands, this is their career. But see, this is what happens when you marry someone who you don't know is in competition with you secretly or has. And I'm not saying that she does, but I'm saying that in all likelihood, there could be some sort of competition there. You know what I'm saying? There
I can agree with that.
There could be some piggybacking. There could be a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Because you see all the endeavors that she goes into. The rock band. Like, okay, cool, you got a heavy metal rock band. Your daughter came out with music and got more talent in her pinky finger musically than you do. But you still.
Where does that come from?
Oh no, it was a soft. It was a soft.
I'm saying it probably comes from her dad. That's what I'm saying.
But
talent probably comes from my dad, not from Jay.
And then that's where the spirit of competition comes from as well. You know what I'm saying? Because no one has ever said that Jada is just an enormous talent. No,
we just like Jada.
We like Jada's early personality until she started showing us some shit that was like, this is not quite right. Like, I can't relate to you on some of this shit now.
Yeah.
She's been sucking the ghost of Tupac. She's been sucking the dick of Tupac's ghost for like 20 years.
And in all fairness,
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say this real quick. And in all fairness to Jada, I see her. I mean, anyway, I'll just say it like this. The light that I see her in, you gentlemen are a tad bit older than me. So, like, when we call her a different way.
Just a feather,
but
perhaps.
Basically, what I'm getting at is, like, man, she definitely knows how to. She's like.
You're struggling to say what she's talented at.
No,
that's what you're doing.
She can play that. She's real serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's feisty.
And what? What's the talent?
She can turn it on.
What's the talent?
You know what I'm saying? She knows how to be real aggressive.
Most memorable Jada Pinkett role.
Society.
Oh, so I was gonna say set it off.
Oh, Menace to Society?
Yeah.
Menace to Society, set it off.
And then Low Down Dirty Shame.
And then, so that's 3. And all of those were 25 years ago. You're really, really struggling, and her work on A Different World to a certain extent.
Yeah, but she couldn't cross over. Like Will Smith was able to cross over.
Competition.
Whereas, even though I don't know if he crossed over, he was never really like, doing just all black stuff like she was. But,
Right.
But no, I mean, Will Smith is, he's big. He's a giant.
Yeah, he's as big as they. The only person who I can think of that is bigger has been bigger.
Denzel.
No, Denzel's not bigger than Will Smith.
No,
he's more
not.
accomplished.
Denzel
But as far as
ain't
like being
never
a
been
box
a 20
office draw, the only other person I can
right.
think of is like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That's the only other like movie star.
Oh, because you think
I can
about all
of.
the 4th of July movies that Will Smith did.
Those two are the
Look
premier.
at his box office shit, man. I mean, Will Smith.
Well, Will
like
Smith's
a-
an artist too. Damn,
Yeah.
Will Smith can drop a record and go platinum.
Fresh-
Win.
Fresh-
Hold on.
Fresh
Time
Prince
out.
was badass.
Pause. Win.
The Men in Black, theme song was the number one song.
We keep talking about 20-year-old stuff, though. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
still
You say he
accomplished. He's still
can. You
accomplished.
say he can.
All right, he did.
He has.
Yeah, like
Right.
cause
Number one Christmas song.
Two songs.
Number one Christmas
Men in
song.
Black, Men in Black, three songs. Summertime.
I was just about to say.
Men in Black and Jiggy with it. Those are the 3 songs
I was just
that he
about to
got.
say.
I mean, Parents Just Don't Understand doesn't count. Is that just too old? That was a mega hit.
Yeah.
It
Number one Christmas song.
But you're not
Number one. No, I'm saying number one.
Right, sure.
Number one Christmas song, Mariah Carey. Number one summer song, Will Smith.
Yeah.
I think permanently.
look,
I mean,
I'm
until
a-
somebody else comes along.
I'm
Pop
a little
culture.
upset that we spent so much time on this topic, but
Go ahead.
I feel like I need to throw one more curveball into this thing
Let's do it.
since we've been doing it. One interesting angle that I thought of around this that I haven't heard anyone talk about is that Jada Pinkett is a Scientologist. Jada Pinkett Smith is a Scientologist.
Oh.
Is she really?
And I'm going to tell you what that means to me. All right. So, Scientology, a lot of people think of like cult, evil, whatever. But like the fundamentals of
was occasionally a
Scientology
Scientologist.
are really about controlling your emotions and acting like as a fully rational person. And it's funny when I saw that I didn't really watch the whole Red Table episode, but somebody on Twitter was just kind of like posting like the, they had like a video of it. I just kind of watched it. And they were just like, look at Will. And I was looking at Will and like, those two were like, their energy was so different. Like, Will just looked totally fucked up in that video, man. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but if you look at it, he's there. He's like, again, it's like you said, like he's probably there just to keep, peace in the house. But he is clearly fucked up in that video.
No. He was definitely fucked up.
And she's just like, it's just another day, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, being all articulate and all this sort of stuff. But I do think that like, it is possible to take like a lot of those Scientology teachings, which I think are interesting and novel and in some ways useful, and turn that shit into like borderline sociopathic behavior. And that is
I would say even narcissistic. Actually,
I definitely think that she has exhibited and displayed sociopathic behavior. I agree, and I also know a little bit about Scientology, and there is a prescribed stoicism. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of them, when you talk to them, you can't really get a bead on what it's really about. You got to just watch the channel and just watch the infomercial loop for a day or so before you really figure out a little bit of what it's
But do you guys know
about.
about the Galactic Overlord Xenu?
Yes.
That doesn't discredit the teaching.
No, it doesn't.
What about the Galactic Overlord Xenu?
I think aliens exist, so I'm not necessarily,
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, it is.
L. Ron Hubbard he's like a fiction.
Yes, I believe he is the single most published human being in the history of tracking publishing. Like, he published more shit than anybody else.
I'm not discrediting anything that
they waiting on that spaceship, man. Yeah. They waiting on that spaceship.
And the volcanoes and the jets and the volcanoes.
Yeah, the DC-9s and the Thetans and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I mean, there was a South Park
So why
episode
is that
around
my fault that Will married this person, and I got to account for the way she driving him crazy?
Yeah, I just think she's
that ain't
just
my responsibility.
I just think she's stone cold, not emotional at all, and it's just like leveraging all that against him.
Yeah,
He's not equipped to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
He's not equipped
so.
to deal with. He's not equipped to deal with the person that she most likely evolved into as she got more involved with Scientology. Because that wasn't Jada's person. She didn't have that. She didn't have that personality. She was actually more known for her energy. She was a bit of a.
I would definitely see that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to choose somebody, I'd be like, man, you probably can hang out and have a great time with Jada.
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Y'all would have fun. You'd laugh.
Super
you'd talk.
fun. Seemed to be, and that's what. And that was our initial draw to her. It wasn't that she was highly skilled in anything. To a high degree, it was just like personality.
Right.
Who would you want to have her be?
She was beautiful.
She in the short hair era. In the short hair era, she still held her own.
Yeah.
Which I think is notable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I miss she had like the braids or whatever, but yeah, that's one of the few times like that and I can't remember what she looked like and set it off. Did she have braids and stuff?
Set it off
Yeah,
with the
she had braids.
And she cut the braids.
The bob braids.
She had the moeshes. Yeah, she had the
I see.
moeshes and set it off. You know what I'm saying?
Menace to Society.
Yeah, she played Tyree's girlfriend with the baby.
She was the woman.
Yeah.
She was the main female character.
Hold on. Oh, Purnell's girlfriend?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
all right, yeah,
yes,
okay,
yes.
yeah.
When they had the shootout
Got it,
and
got
everything,
it.
they had the shootout at the end, and the baby, you know what I'm saying, the baby didn't die. He's on the big wheel.
And Kane died.
Yeah. The shit that
All right,
they
spoiler
parodied
alert.
the shit that
But
they,
the film's 30 years old, so.
the shit that they parodied in they parodied it. It was a parody of this that scene in Don't Be a Menace.
I'm not gonna, like I said, I don't know. The only reason first off, either Will Smith is crazy or like to Jeff's point, he was a big cheater. I mean, the idea that a man could. Let me tell you something about
His whole
men.
identity, Larry.
Oh, no. Oh, I gotta say this.
Say it.
The fact that any man would be willing to
Fucking eBay.
stay with a woman that slept with a man that slept in his house. Stay with a woman that slept with a man that he was paying the bills, and maybe that's a broad assumption. Maybe Jada pays the bills over there. I don't know, but he had them around the kids, and oh boy, that's a lot. I just, that is, you know what, and even if we're in a, I can even comprehend it over.
Why you
think that
separated,
Jada?
like-
Wait, real quick question, gentlemen. Maybe Jada was lying about it up front. Like maybe it was this whole. She was playing it as, well, this is Willow's friend.
Here's the thing about all of this.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Here's the thing about all of this.
We got corrected. Andrea Carter says she was in Gotham and Hawthorne, not box office movies, but she held her own. So
I'm just saying.
think
Hey, Hawthorne-
crime boss in
Hawthorne was on TNT.
I doubt that.
That ain't even in your that's not even in your channel surfing cycle.
Is
So-
Gotham is that like UPN or something like?
No,
UPN,
it was I think
it wasn't like a big
it was
four
like
show.
Fox or something like that, but it was
Was
but
Gotham
it's,
on Fox? Okay.
yeah,
all
but
right.
I mean it was a peripheral kid.
I'm just saying,
You know what
I
I'm
doubt
saying?
that
Like,
one day that August Alsina came knocking on the door. You know, Hollywood, they all live in Calabasas and these neighborhoods and such. And maybe one day, August, got some money. He was relevant at one point, comes knocking on the door and goes,
August was sick at the time,
I
actually.
want to bang your fucking wife.
I don't give a damn about that. Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead, yeah.
I just doubt that, like, he came knocking on the door. It's like, hey, bro, I'm here to bang your wife. And Will's like, my nigga, have at it. I'm out of here.
She clearly,
Like,
in my estimation, I feel like she seduced him. Number one, because he has noted mental and medical issues, so he was very vulnerable at the time.
He's
and plus,
a superstar, though. Too.
who's a superstar? August Alsina.
Well, he was.
I'm not.
It's time to wrap the show
Maybe
up.
not a superstar.
And we really do only have. We actually go ahead. Hey, whoa! We actually. Oh, go ahead,
relevant.
Rashid. Go
No,
ahead.
he wasn't.
At one point.
Go ahead with what?
Go ahead, man. We got room for last thought for everybody.
Well, look, my last thought is that Vladimir Putin today signed a decree that he was only going to take non-dollar and euro denominated currencies for Russian oil and gas. That doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a huge deal because what it will do is it'll it's one more step toward breaking the U.S. dollar's hold on the global economy. Saudi Arabia, a lot of these Arab states are starting to take other currencies. This will have catastrophic impact on the United States economy if it actually goes all the way through.
Well, just to piggyback off what he said, I think Joe Biden announced too that they were tapping into the reserves,
which is worthless.
Essentially, well, I guess now it makes sense as to why they're tapping into the reserves. So
yeah, that's pure politics. Like, there ain't enough in those reserves to. If they emptied all the reserves right now, it would hold us over for like 2 days. That's how much oil is in there. But yes, it's probably related.
Hey man, don't fucking slap me over no shit like that, bro. We gonna have some issues, man. Like, don't bring your ass into an environment and you got me accountable for some shit I don't know about.
All right. Oh, we got a bomb for that.
I don't care for talking about the U.S. economy. What the hell, man?
Well, let's save it. We'll save it. Okay. So Andrew Carter said, "We cannot blame this woman for Will's actions. He is a grown man. She may have her issues, but he made a conscious decision to walk up on stage." Sure. I mean, absolutely.
I mean, are we acting like she had no part? She did not.
The question is why, right? Like, I think that's the nail-biting question. However, there's a couple things I'll say. Whenever, and I understand the industry. I understand that that's a part of the industry. Whenever you start talking about a man's wife, it's a slippery slope. A, especially if he's there and there are other people there. B, the biggest thing that got me, if they had a decision to have an open relationship, and maybe they have talked about this, I just kind of find it classless. You know what? Maybe they agreed on that. I'm not going to get involved in that. However, what I can say about Laris is that one of the reasons why when a girl said, "You gonna have some dudes over here?" See, it ain't my job to help niggas get women. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm paying for a house, I'm not going to be facilitating an environment for you to get ass, and damn sure not for my wife.
Not your homeboys. You can't even call your homeboy, man.
No, I didn't. But
hey,
no, wait. I said
East Point
East Point.
I ain't saying he should have killed him.
East Point some dank. All right, we
But I
are.
understand.
What the fuck? This nigga saying I ain't facilitating.
I'm saying y'all could have came. That's what I'm saying.